Hello, my name is Gillian Ray, teaching professional at Eleanor Country Club, and welcome to Coach's Corner. Last month I chatted to you about how to get the correct grip and how it benefits your game. This week we're going to talk about your stance and how that can influence your game and help you to become more consistent. The first thing I've asked normally is how far apart should my feet be in the swing. So talking about a general iron swing, ideally everyone talks about shoulder width. And the first thing I'd like to suggest is that, particularly with ladies, sometimes our shapes are different. And ladies have very small shoulders and they can have wider hips. And so for a lady that comes to me like that, I won't go shoulder width, I'll go hip width, because you want to go for the widest part. Where with men, they're generally always wider in the shoulders and narrower in the hips. It's just our natural shapes. So that's the first thing I want to address. So having said that, a misconception is when someone's standing and they have their feet apart, they look at this distance here and they think, yeah, that's about my shoulder width. But what you must do is look at the heels and measure that distance. So if you can, do it yourself if you're flexible enough, and just double check in between the heels, how far away is that? And that's approximately my shoulder width. So I'm correct. So you must have this stable platform, one, to maintain your balance, and two, so you can be athletic in your move, so you can move from one side to the other. The second thing I want to discuss is different clubs. So obviously with shorter clubs and shorter shots, you're looking to narrow your stance because you're limiting your movement, your weight transference. And as you move up the clubs to say your driver, that's where your stance is at its widest. And it's at its widest because the club is longer and you're trying to be more athletic. So driver, nice and wide so you can move a lot more and create more power. Shorter irons, a little bit narrower so you reduce distance and have more control. One issue that a lot of players have is that they have bad hips and they can't move as efficiently as they can. Certainly with a driver, every good player in the world has their front foot, say a right-handed player, their left foot. Their left foot is not square to the target, it's turned out. And the main reason for that is when you're trying to create a fuller finish, which increases your club head speed due to more rotation, if the foot is pointed in, if I try and move here, my hip rotation and my motion is restricted. If I turn my foot out and I make a swing from here, the hips can move as far as you want, creating a longer swing equals a lot more power. Players that have bad backs or hip issues, I would really recommend you put both feet out because that reduces stress on your hips and lower back. For those that don't have hip problems, your backswing, you want to create resistance, consistency, so the back foot should be straight ahead, and therefore you limiting the ability to move too much, which is great if you've got no issues at all. So we've talked about the stance. One last thing, when you set up, you never want to feel all the weights in your heels because therefore you'll not move properly. You never want too much weight on your toes because then you'll be too forward. So the ideal position is completely even, preferably in the balls of your feet, so you're creating a nice stable platform for the motion that's about to happen. You don't want too much weight on your left foot because then it gets stuck. You don't want too much weight on the back foot, then you get stuck. So that's another area, not just from heel to toe, but obviously from right to left, so everything's even. Anyway, I hope that really helps you, and I look forward to speaking to you next month.